and Managing Trustee of Star International Foundation for Research and Education. I welcome you all for the 7 days faculty development program on essential skills for professional development in higher education. Now I would like to invite our executive staff member, Mrs. Gomadi, to introduce our today's resource person. Gomadi ma'am, welcome you.
Yes, sir. Good evening to all. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all today. We are honored to have with us an esteemed academic, Dr. D. Lalitha, Associate Professor, whose remarkable journey in the field of commerce and education has been nothing short of inspiring. Dr. Lalitha completed her PhD in Commerce. Her successful completion of UGC, NET, MPhil, MCom, and BCom, all from prestigious institutions affiliated with Madras University. Her academic journey is a testament to her dedication and pursuit of excellence. With over 24 years of teaching experience at SDNB Vaishnav College for Women, Dr. Lalitha has not only imparted knowledge but has also been instrumental in guiding students towards their academic and professional goals. Her deep understanding of the subject, coupled with excellent communication skills, has made her beloved educator and mentor. Dr. Lalitha professional experience extends beyond the classroom. She has taken on significant administrative roles, including serving as the PG admission coordinator, department in charge for the postgraduate department of commerce, and dean of extension activities. Her involvement in various committees and her role as an active external examiner showcase her commitment to academic excellence and institutional development. In addition to her academic and administrative contributions, Dr. Lalitha has been an active participant in conferences and seminars, sharing her insight on topics ranging from consumer prescription in m-commerce to psychosocial support in work-life integration. Her research has been published in renowned journals, reflecting her continuous engagement with the latest development in her field. We are truly privileged to have Dr. Lalitha with us today. Her dedication to education, her extensive experience, and her unwavering commitment to student development make her a valuable asset to any institution. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. D. Lalitha. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Gomati ma'am. Can I just start my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. You can start.
So I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Segar, founder and director, and also assistant professor in a reputed college, Star International Foundation for Research and Education, and of course its management for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my perception on leadership management skill. I believe that my slide is, you're able to view the slide. Can I just start my presentation? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
If I... So the topic that has assigned to me is leadership management skill. The thing is, which we are going to discuss now is nothing but we are going to decide, just have a look on what is the meaning of your leadership management is all about. And of course, what are the characteristics of an effective leader? Okay. And apart from that, what is the differences between a leadership and your management? So they are two wings. Actually, leadership is the one which comes under your management, but both plays a very dominant role. And what are the core leadership management skill? The present CEOs, or so-called um, uh, uh, the corporate persons should possess in order to be a successful leader. That's agenda which we are going to look in for. Okay, first I just move on to to my aspect as leadership management. So what is actually a leadership management is nothing but is all about the combination of leadership qualities with management techniques. Okay, so leader has different qualities and management has its own way. So both the things combined together, we call it as a leadership management. Fine. So it is a comprehensive approach that combines the leadership qualities with management techniques. So majorly, Pathik, if you just look upon, we have three aspects. One is guiding, the other one is influencing. Okay, then the last one is ultimately achieving the organization goals. So what do you mean by guiding? So guiding is nothing but you're providing a direction. Okay, you're providing a vision to the team. Okay, what we are, what is our ultimate goal, what we have to just work on. Okay, what are the steps to be taken? All those things, you're providing direction, vision to the team. Okay, then you have to influence them. So what do you mean by influence them? You have to keep on motivating them, inspiring the team members, okay, to perform their best. Okay, so each come from different culture. Okay, each individual comes from different background. Okay, each has its own pros and cons. So every person should come together to work as a team in order to achieve the organization goal. Okay, so that is possible only by influencing them and inducing them. Okay, and the third important aspect is nothing but achieving organizational goals. So what do you mean by achieving organizational goals? You are trying to align the team efforts, okay, with the broader objective of the organization. Okay, so that is what is alignment. So ultimately, what is a leadership management is nothing but it is a combination of leadership qualities with the management technique. Okay, like guiding, influencing, and achieving organizational goals. Fine. I just move on to the key characteristics of your leadership management. So the first one is talks about vision and strategic thinking. Okay, so what is that? To succeed in your vision, okay, or mission. So vision is a long term and mission is a short term. The steps we take up to achieve our vision. Okay, so to succeed in your mission, one must have single-minded devotion to your goal. So there is no doubt about it. Okay, leader is someone. So we are just looking into the key characteristics of the lead of a leader. Okay, so a leader is someone who not only guides, okay, and motivates others, but also embodies the values of vision, integrity, and empowerment. Okay, I just want to bring about the example of our a renowned Indian scientist, okay, and former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, this aspect, and his profound, I just want to share his profound vision on leadership. Okay, so once you see during his tenure as a project director of India's SLV-3, okay, Abdul Kalam and his team faced numerous technical and administrative challenges. But in spite of it, he and his team remained committed, okay, to their goal of making India a self-reliant in space technology. So we all know the SLV-3 has had a failure in the first mission. Okay, but he doesn't stop with that. He had a goal that he will do it, and ultimately he has done it. Okay. Next, when you just look up the next characteristics, it's nothing but communication skills. Okay, that's very, very important. You need to communicate whatever that the leader thinks. He needs to communicate to his team. Okay, then only he can achieve the goal as such. So by proper communication, he can empower the team. Okay, so I'll take the same example of our Abdul Kalam sir. He has dedicated responsibility and trusted his team member with the critical task. Okay, he believed in giving them the freedom to innovate, okay, and take ownership of their work, which not only empowered them, also fostered a sense of collective achievement. So what happens is, I'll tell you one real example which I just read it from Wings of Fire. So one of his colleague, that is one is the batchmate, okay, he had been a project leader. Abdul Kalam sir has been a project leader, and his teammate promised his children that he will take it to a park in the evening, as such. In the evening, okay, he has just asked permission to Abdul Kalam sir, telling him that, sir, evening I have to just go early. I need to take my children to the park. Okay, that's it. So when evening has come, Abdul Kalam sir has just went and looked at him. That particular person, the scientist, he had been busy working with the work. He had just forgotten his mindset of taking his children to a park. Okay, so what Abdul Kalam did was he just went to their home, he took the children on his back. So this is nothing but, it's not the example of communication, but understanding. He is empathetic enough to understand his fellow as such. So that is one of the important characteristics of a leader. Okay, so I just move on to the aspect of that is what I just failed to share my screen. Okay, so this is nothing but vision and strategic thinking, which is ability to see big picture and set long-term goals. Next is nothing but skill. Okay, you need to require skill. Then it's nothing but communication skills. So communication skills is nothing but either verbally or written. Okay, you have to actively pass the information to others. Okay, can convey what you want. Then it's nothing but emotional intelligence. So when you just look at what is emotional intelligence, nothing but it refers to the ability to recognize, okay, what is actually emotional intelligence. So it is nothing but it is where you're able to recognize, okay, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions in ourselves and others, and use these emotions to enhance quality of life. That is what is more important, where you're able to control your emotions and you are able to tackle the emotions of others. So that is what we call it as a emotional intelligence is all about. So when you just look at this slide, you can understand the components of your emotional intelligence, that is social skills, self-awareness, self-regulations, empathy, all those things. So I can take the best example of Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. Okay, he is known for his high emotional intelligence. Okay, he had been very key in transforming the Microsoft culture, okay, into a more collaborative and innovative environment. Okay, so that's it with regarding to your emotional intelligence is all about. I can just spot out the example of our APJ Abdul Kalam, where I'm just telling about. In spite of the failure of the first launch of SLV3, Dr. Kalam inspired his team to persist and learn from their mistakes. Okay, his wordings are what he said is, do not look at failure as the end. Okay, instead, learn from it and start fresh with renewed vigor. Okay, instead of blaming his team, he analyzed the reason for the failure. He tried to draw out valuable lessons and motivated his team and tried to and asked his team to try again. Okay, so this approach eventually led to the successful launch of the Rohini satellite. Okay, another important example which I could talk about is Usain Bolt. So everybody know who's an athlete. Okay, a legendary Jamaican sprinter. Okay, he is not only known for his incredible speed, but also for his personal motivation and mindset. Okay, so in his first Olympics, as he started earlier before the bell, he got rejected and he also faced several injuries. So all these setbacks doesn't deter him. He used them as motivation to come back stronger as such. So this is what is where he is able to set his emotions and he is able to draw all those things as a motivation aspect. Next, we just move on to the other important characteristics of leadership. That is nothing but adaptability and resilience. So what do you mean by adaptability? So adaptability talks about the flexibility. Okay, that is the world is changing. Okay, the things are changing. The situation is changing. So changes are inevitable. Okay, that is unavoidable as such. So you need to adapt to that situation. Okay, and whatever the things that is coming up, you try to take it as an opportunity and bounce back well. Okay, so that is what we talk about adaptability and resilience. So what is adaptability is nothing but it's the ability to adjust to new conditions, okay, new challenges and a new environment. Okay, so here again, I could just give ourselves as a best example, the teachers community. Okay, during the COVID pandemic, as we had to rapidly shift from our classroom teaching to online teaching. Okay, so those who adopted quickly by learning new technologies were able to maintain a high standard of education despite the changes that has taken place. Okay, so that is what we call it as an adaptability. Next, I just move on to resilience. So what do you mean by resilience? So resilience is nothing but where we are all resilient of COVID pandemic. Okay, we are all alive. Okay, we are stronger. So that means we are resilient of COVID pandemic. Okay, so ultimately, resilience is nothing but where it is a capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and setbacks. Okay, as I just told you, it involves a positive attitude. You should have a positive attitude. You should be in a position to manage your stress effectively. Okay, and you can bounce back stronger after facing adversity. So again, I'll be coming up with Dr. Kalam's example. Okay, where after the initial failure, right, he had the ability to stay positive and focus on learning from mistakes. Okay. Another example where he could launch a Rohini satellite as such. Okay. Another example which I could give is Hussein's bold resilience and determination to overcome challenges played a crucial role in his continued success. So adaptability and resilience are crucial skills for navigating change and overcoming challenges. Okay. So next important characteristics of the leadership is nothing but integrity and ethical behavior. Integrity. So integrity just talks about honesty, how honest you are. So many research paper is of the view that children's or anybody else doesn't listen to what we say, okay, but they observe our roles, they observe our characters, even our students, okay, they observe our whatever the ethics which we follow up, okay, how we are, okay, so they observe certain things rather than we advise them. If you just you're on your own, if you follow it, so automatically your teammates will do it. Okay, so that is what is what we call integrity and ethical behavior, where that particular person should be an honest person. He should be of a value-oriented person. He should be of an ethical person. Okay, so that is what integrity and ethical behavior talks about. So it refers to a quality of being honest and having a strong moral principles. Of course, it involves truthfulness, no doubt, fairness, and consistent. Okay, so what do you mean by ethical behavior? Ethical behavior is nothing but is acting in ways that are consistent with societal and professional standard of conduct. So we have a code of conduct when we are entering the institutions, when we are talking with others, okay, when we are dealing anything else. So we have certain code of context, code of ethics that should be followed. Okay, so that is what is all this about. So it encompasses your fairness, your responsibility, and adherence to ethical principles. Okay, so the integrity and ethical behavior in the leaders fosters trust among the team. Okay, so if you're good, ultimately, the followers will just follow you. Okay, so it builds a good reputation. It ensures compliance with laws and societal standards, and it provides them self-respect and satisfaction. Okay, again, I'll just come out with Kalam's example, where Kalam's attributes like hard work, okay, honesty, and simple lifestyle contributed to his success. Okay, I just want to mention about Kudankulam nuclear power plant issue. We all know there was an issue that people in and around Kudankulam are worried that the wastewater discharge from the plant into the sea will adversely affect the marine life and fish catch. So they were not for the project. Okay, so they called Abdul Kalam to address the gathering. So he just came forward and he just told them that we have a sophisticated salient features and there is no need to panic. Okay, so his wordings, okay, the people believed in him. Okay, even some people are negative opinion, but many people or the trust, they believe this word because that kind of an honest person he is. So what I just want to insist is a person who's a leader, that particular person should should be of an honest person and should be of an uh, ethical behavior carried out person. Okay. So only if that person says something, his teammates will be following it. So when you're not following, uh, you cannot expect the others to do that. Okay. So that is what is all about integrity and ethical behavior. Okay. Fine. So I just want to just have a glance of it. That is, the first one is we have just had a talk about, okay, what is actually a leadership management is all about. Then what are the key characteristics of your leadership, that is leader as such. So vision and strategic thinking. Then communication skill. Yes, you should possess a very good communication skill. You should be an emotionally stronger person. Okay. You should adopt to the changes, and he should be a resilient person. Whatever the setbacks we have, he has to just come out. Okay. And of course, he should be of integral, with utmost integrity and ethical behavior. Okay. Yeah. So the next, we just move on to what is the difference between leadership and management, right? So leadership, it just talks about inspiring and guiding. Management always we talks it's planning, organizing, and controlling. One more thing I just want to insist is management is what? Management is managing the changes. We plan, okay, we organize everything we does. But actually, when we are carrying it, things will not as we plan it. Okay. So ultimately, whatever the changes that is happening, we should be in a position to flexible enough to keep track of the changes and adopt to that situation. So management is nothing but managing changes, you can call. Okay, fine. Let me just go into the broader aspect of the difference between leadership and the management. Okay, so in an organization, let me just set up, feel that in the organization, a leader is one who sets a vision or goals. Okay, this we have to achieve. We have to reach that particular path. Okay, so he's a person who sets the vision or goals. Whereas a manager who paves the path, okay, to reach those objectives. So he sets the path, okay, how to go it. He builds up the structure, okay. Management is the ability to climb the ladder of success, okay. Of course, step by step, we need to just reach the goals as such, okay. So leadership is a capacity, okay, how far we'll be successful, okay, is a capacity to make sure that the ladder is against the right wall. So we have placed the ladder in the right wall. So that is what is leadership is all about, okay. So ultimately, you can say that a leader has the ability to influence others to achieve a goal, okay. So if your actions, so it's not, you must see, you need not keep him by one designation that you are a leader or something like that. Any person, okay, who inspires others to dream more, to learn more, to do more and become more, okay, that particular person is a leader. Okay, where you are able to influence others, okay, asking them to dream more or learn more or do more, okay, that particular person is a leader. Fine? Right. So we have just understood who's a leader, and management is nothing but it's a process of controlling things and people. Okay, let me just talk about how these two things will result in the synergy of achieving your organizational objective. Okay, so as I was telling you, a leader is the one who provides a vision. Okay, and the manager is the one who provides the resources for achieving that vision. Okay, ultimately, it results in empowerment of your organization. So he is telling you this to achieve. Okay, he is guiding you. Leader is guiding you. There he is setting a path for that. He is providing the services for, providing the resources for that. So ultimately, your organization will empower. So that is the first synergy. Okay. When you go on for the next synergy, he pursues opportunities. So he'll always look whatever that is happening in and around the leader, whatever that is happening around him. Okay, he tried to grab that opportunity. Okay, so it provides opportunity. Whereas in the case of the management, what the management does is they will calculate when using that opportunity, is there is any risk involved? Okay, is there is any, uncertainties involved? Okay, so they try to calculate, try to reduce the risk and achieve that path. So ultimately, it leads to achievement of your organization goals. So second synergy, which the organization gets out of leadership is pursue opportunities, and out of management is reducing the risk. By that, you're able to achieve a goal. Clear? Next. The third one is the leader is always will be a greater inspiration for his teammates. Okay, so he'll be an inspiring person. Okay, where if he tells, they'll be doing it, they'll be following it. So that kind of they trust him. Okay, so that's that kind of inspiration, inspiring person should be a leader. Okay, so when you call that management is the one which coordinate. Okay, which combines. Okay, which coordinate, which try to control. Okay, so he has set up a mission, he has set up a vision. Okay, so as per plan, things has to move. Okay, so they'll be controlling it, they'll be coordinating it, they'll be checking to it, supervising it. Okay, whether it is going as per plan or not. So the synergy we get is a good teamwork. Okay, fine. Then the next synergy is nothing but lead improvisation. Okay, so he'll be leading, he'll try to improvise in what are all aspects we can do the best things, they'll be carrying out, the leader will be carrying out. Okay, whereas the leader, the manager, will try to provide a structure for it. So if you want to work, I should provide required infrastructure facilities for carrying out that work smoothly. So I should provide a conducive environment. So in that case, the manager provides a good structure, good environment, okay, for the team to perform. Okay, so ultimately it results in innovation. So this will result in innovation. Ultimately, the last synergy is nothing but leader is a person who do things, right things, who do right things. Okay, whereas manager is a person who do things right. So ultimately, this will result in the synergy called as effectiveness. Okay, so this is how a leader, okay, and the manager club together can bring an effective leader, okay, and a good management can bring tremendous improvement for the success of the organization. Fine. Next, I just move on to my the last cadre of my aspect called as core leadership management skills. Okay, so any leader or any CEOs of any organization, if they possess the required characteristics, qualities of a leader, okay, and good management skill, ultimately they'll be successful. So here are some of the examples which I've just quoted with some of the examples, right? So the first core leadership management skill is all about decision-making skills. Okay, so decision-making, what is to be done, what is to be not to be done. So everything has to be decided, right? So any issue, okay, any risk, right? Everything, it has to go as per your data-driven approaches. On the basis of the statistics, you have to just come up with a conclusion, right? So it's not only the statistics data talks about, sometimes it's intuition, your inner mind, okay, tells that this is a right, okay, if we adopt this path, we'll be successful. Okay, so that is what we call it as a decision making skills. Okay, so analytical thinking, problem solving, risk assessment, data-driven approaches, and balancing intuition. Okay, you're combining your experience with the factual analysis. So data is also important. Statistics is also important. What the data that is in hand is important. Apart from that, what your inner mind says out of your experience is also important. Okay, so everything you need to combine and you have to decide. Okay, so some of the major decisions that has been taken by big corporate giants. Okay, I believe that you're able to know this person who is called as Steve Jobs. Okay, so who is he? So he's nothing but who is had brought, okay, the phone, okay, which we are using it, the smartphones, that is nothing but, okay, Apple phone we are just talking about. So what's the thing why I just brought this example over here is, actually he had worked in Apple, then he resigned, he moved outside and started some concerns. Then in 1997, again, he had become CEO. He had taken a job in Apple. Okay, at that time when Job returned to Apple in 1997, Apple had been producing a array of computers and peripherals. Lot of products that has been dozens, different versions it has been producing. Okay. One fine day, he came to the cabin. He just shouted at his team members, okay, stop all those things. Everything you just stop it. Okay, he took a marker on the slide. Okay, he has given a matrix like, okay, the two columns headings like consumers and pro. The other two column rows he has just given as desktop and portable. So he said that only 4 products you're going to produce. In each product quadrant, okay, you concentrate on one particular product. Okay, rest all, you just stop all the products as such. So ultimately, what I mean to say is, he has just concentrated on few aspects. Okay, that's the reason still now Apple iMac has a heavy market and has its own brand of its own as such. So his ability, okay, to decide, okay, that is what is the thing is deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. Okay, so what to do, what not to do. So he has just completely ignored all the production that has been made. He has their team members to concentrate only on these 4 products. Okay, so that's the reason it has got its own identity as such. Okay, so that is one of the best examples. Next, for what I'm just talking about is decision-making skill. So he has decided not to do all the aspects. Fine. Next, I just move on to Jeff Bezos. Okay, so Jeff Bezos decision. Okay, but regarding to selling, so we all know the online platform of Amazon was started with the decision to selling books. Okay, but what Jeff Bezos thought is he want Amazon to be a everything store. Okay, so what he did is this vision. Okay, he had a vision. Okay, where he tried to expand into a numerous product categories beyond books. So Bezos recognized the significance of convenience and efficiency in e-commerce. So ultimately, everything after pandemic, everybody moved to an electronic platform where we just book it online. Okay, so we say that it is very convenient, it's very efficient. So this, the expansion beyond books, okay, that is Amazon had been at the starting. Okay, at the startup, they've just started with selling books. Okay, then gradually he just expanded the firm beyond books as such. Okay, so this strategic expansion made Amazon's position as a leader in e-commerce. So everybody knows about Amazon as such. Okay, and we get everything right from groceries to all the thick and thin and all the furnitures, whatever the product, we are able to get it. Dresses, garments, and everything we are able to get it. So he laid the position as a leader in e-commerce, but also laid the foundation for its transformation into a technology giant with diverse business interests beyond retailing. So Bezos demonstrated an understanding of both the potential of e-commerce and the significance of relentless innovation and customer focus in driving a sustained growth. Okay, so that is with regarding to Jeff Bezos. So I'll just move on with one more example. That is nothing but Elon Musk's decision to open source Tesla's patent in 2014. So he made it, the thing is, he has decided to open source Tesla patent. Okay, so why is that so? Okay, why he made a strategic move like this, right? So ultimately, what is his aim is nothing but he want to accelerate the electric vehicles, the adoption of electric vehicles. And also he is a person of great vision. Okay, what he thought is he want to address to broader environmental changes. So because of the emission of carbon, okay, the environment is getting affected, so that he wants to avoid it. So he wants the corporate to take up electrical vehicles. So he just left it patent free as such. So here Musk believed that by making Tesla's patent freely available to anyone interested in advancing electric vehicle technology, it would encourage other automakers to enter the electric vehicle market. Okay, so Musk, of course, he has a long been an advocate for sustainability and reducing carbon emission. Okay, by promoting the adoption of electric vehicles through open sourcing patents, he aimed to expedite the transition away from fossil fuels and towards cleaner transportation options. Okay, so it is also one of the major decision, okay, which made him as a greater leader, okay, and also a greater CEO as such, right? So Musk's decision to open source Tesla patent was driven by a combination of motives to benefit society. Okay, of course, strategic business consideration to drive market growth and desire to establish Tesla as a leader in sustainable transportation. So that was his aim. Okay, he wants to be a pioneer. Okay, for the development of the society. So that is one of your important characteristics, key role, okay, of leadership management is all about. One of the most important skill is nothing but decision making skill. Okay, fine. Next, the second one is nothing but the team building and management. So it's very important. Okay, where as a team, they should always feel that our leader is there to take care of us. Okay, you should give them the psychological feeling that they belong to your team. Whatever happens to you, you take care of that particular fellow persons. Okay, so that kind of a strong feeling has to be given to your team members. Whatever happens to them, there is a leader to prevent. Okay, so that kind of a sign they should have it. Okay, so no doubt you need to recruit. Of course, you have to identify the best suitable candidates, no doubt. And apart from identifying them, you should try to maintain them. You should try to retain them. That is more important. Okay. And you need to collaborate with them. So it's not that you dictate terms and they follow. You should try to get their suggestions too. Okay, and there will be a lot of disagreement, which each individual comes from different background. Okay, each individual comes from different culture. Okay, different society. So everything clubbing together and working as a team, so should have a common purpose. So there will be some sort of conflicts. So that conflicts has to be resolved. Fine. So that is what is team building and management. Very, very, very important aspect in the present environment, in the corporate world as such. Okay, so I need to talk about with regarding to Google's project Aristotle. So one of the best example. So this Aristotle project was launched by Google in 2012. Ultimately, they aimed at studying and identifying the key factors that contributes to effective teamwork in company. So they made a search, they made a research. Okay, what will make them effective team? Okay, so this Aristotle, it is a data-driven approach, no doubt. They've analyzed over 180 teams, right, within Google, and to identify what is the patterns, how they work, what's the correlation between team dynamics, okay, and how the performance matrices are measured, okay, everything they made. The study collected a variety of data, including team composition, individual members, and work habits, how they do it, how they carry it. Okay, right. So ultimately, Google's project Aristotle was a comprehensive study that highlighted the importance of psychological safety. That's what I said is a very important aspect. So they should feel that I belong to you, I belong to this team. So my team leader is there to protect me, to prevent me. So that kind of a psychological feeling that should have. Okay, so whatever is problem, you must be empathetic enough from looking from his point of view, what is right and what is wrong. Okay, so that is what is the first one. It has come, psychological safety, clear goals. Okay, abrupt and clear goals. Okay, there should not be any chaos. There shouldn't be any confusions. You must be clear-cut enough in telling what is the goal, where we have to reach, right? Then there's nothing but dependability. Okay, they are dependent. Each one is dependent. Okay, I might be good in one skill. The other person might be good in other skills. So where we need to coordinate. So I believe that every people know the Aaron and tortoise story. Okay, so it doesn't stop with the slow and steady runs so it just goes and comes out with the teamwork. Okay, core competency of all the people has to be made together in order to be a successful team. Okay, so that's it with regarding to by understanding these factors, organization can create environment where teams thrive, innovate, and achieve exceptional results. Okay, Apart from that, so why Aristotle has been the successful one is they have implemented, okay, and they have felt that impact, whether there has been there is a tremendous change in their teamwork or not. Yes, they have underwent a tremendous changes. Okay, Google used the finding of from Project Aristotle, and they developed. Okay, on that basis, they have developed the practical guidelines and interventions to help teams improve their effectiveness. Okay, so they conducted many workshops that includes training sessions, and they have adopted certain tools to enhance psychological safety and team dynamics. Okay, apart from that, they have continually iterated. It's not that implementing some project and live it as such. So they have made a continuous iteration. Okay, it's not a one-time effect. They are ongoing process of learning and refinement. They made certain refinement now and then. Okay, and why we talk about Aristotle is it had got a broader impact. Okay, so its findings, Aristotle findings, have had a significant impact beyond Google. It has influenced the other organizations worldwide approach team building, collaboration, and organization culture. Okay, so this is one of the best example of teamwork. Okay, next I just talk about the Pixar's brain trust. So first of all, we need to know what is Pixar is about. Okay, so Pixar is a renowned American animation studio. Okay, known for producing critically acclaimed and commercially successful animated films. Right. So it was founded in 1986 by Steve Jobs, John Lasseter, and Edward Catalan. So what is actually this one? Brain trust. So brainstorming solution has the same like they call it as a brain trust. Okay. So they had a brain trust fixers had a brain trust meeting. Okay. Where they facilitated collaborative problem solving and ensuring quality of their films. How it worked out is nothing but what they'll do is they'll call various departments. Okay. The key executive personnel, like we have a production manager, sales manager, marketing manager. So the key personal, creative personal departments will be there, isn't it? So such as directors. Here, the Pixar is all about the directors, okay, the writers, the producers, the other senior staff, okay, they'll be called. So these individuals, different individuals, brings a different perspective and expertise to their table. Okay, whatever the problem they face, they try to bring their expertise, okay, their suggestions to them. Okay, so ultimately, this brain trust meeting, it will provide a honest, constructive criticism on the current state of the film in production. So this feedback is aimed at identifying weaknesses. What are the weaknesses we have? Okay, it will clarify the storytelling. Okay, if it is in this mode, it will be a successful one. Okay, and ultimately it enhances the emotional impact. Okay, so participants are permitted, encouraged to speak candidly, that is bluntly, whatever they think, they can speak out. So they have been given that chance, okay, and respectfully about their impression of the film. Okay, so this discussion primarily resolved around the film narrative coherence. Of course, they made a character development. On that basis, they made the thematic depth. Okay, and on that basis, they have made overall emotional resonance. Okay, so the goal ultimately is to ensure that the story is engaging the audience. That is what is the ultimate goal, isn't it, as a film industry. Okay, so this Pixar's brain trust meeting exemplified how effective collaboration, candid feedback, and relentless focus on storytelling can elevate the quality and impact of work. Okay, so it is a testament to the power of teamwork and a commitment to excellence in the pursuit of creating a memorable and emotional films as such. Okay, so this is another best example for the teamwork. Fine. Next. So after looking into the decision-making skills, okay, then moving into aspect of team building, that is efficient team management. The third important characteristics is performance management. Okay, so performance management is nothing but appraising your performance, whether you perform up to your mark, okay, up to your talent. Okay, so you should be given an expectation goals, what is expected. You should be provided a feedback. And of course, they should conduct the reviews on that basis. They have to compensate. Okay, fine. I need to bring out here a very good example of Deloitte's performance management redesign. Okay, so traditionally, many organizations, including Deloitte, okay, add an annual performance review. Every year, we make a performance review. Okay, and employees discussed achievement goals and areas for improvement. Okay, once a year. Okay, what has happened is this approach has several challenges, okay, including infrequent feedbacks. Sometimes things are moving so fast, isn't it? 1 year, so what has happened, we forget and whatsoever. So there will be a disconnect between the performance and the discussion on the day-to-day work. Okay, so what they did is that Deloitte has shifted to, okay, engage in what we call it as a weekly check-ins. Okay, they have made that frequency of performance appraisal weekly. Every week they are meeting and they are redefining it. Okay, so that is what is Deloitte introduced weekly check-in to replace or complement the annual review process. So these check-ins involves brief, okay, regular meetings they had between managers and their team members. So whatever the mistakes that is happening, they resolve now and then. Okay, no time gap for the other aspects. Fine. So ultimate purpose is nothing but the primary goal of weekly check-in is to provide more frequent feedback. Immediately we need to say it's good or no. Okay, right? And support ongoing professional development. So this allows the managers and employees to discuss recent accomplishment, challenges, and what are the progresses, okay, towards their goal in a timely manner. Okay, so in summary, ultimately, Deloitte's shift to weekly check-in as part of performance management redesign, okay, aims to foster a more agile, feedback-rich environment, okay, where employees receive ongoing support, okay, development opportunity. What are the difficulties they are facing? They are resolved immediately, okay, alignment with organizational priorities. So ultimately, this had been the better to meet both the needs of both the employees and the management. Okay, so next example, which I could just bring out is, so this is under various criticism, but I can just tell them that General Electric Motors Farmers Vitality Curve System. Okay, so this is always, that is also called as forced ranking or rank and Young system as such. So what is this ultimate aspect is nothing but it has been implemented by General Electric under the leadership and CEO of Job Welch in 1980 and 1990s. So how it works, so rank and Young approach. They made a forced ranking. So what do you mean by forced ranking? They have divided the employees into 3 categories. So one is top performance, the top 20. The other one is middle performance. Okay. The other one is bottom performance. So what did this? The top 20% of the employees who are considered as high performance, they are rewarded with promotions, bonuses, and career advancement opportunity. The 70% or middle 70%, okay, who were considered satisfactory performers, okay, and generally received moderate recognitions, okay, and opportunity for improvement. If they are given some kind of platform, they improve themselves. And the third category is nothing but bottom line. So here, the 10% who were considered underperformers and were at risk of termination or being placed on a performance improvement plan. So here, Young, the term Young, okay, refers to the practice of terminating or managing out the bottom 10% of employees annually. Okay, so this underwent several criticism, but because of this strategy, they were able to have a good performance appraisal aspect. So that cannot be denied. So here, GE's former vitality curve system was a performance management strategy, okay, aimed at driving high performance through rigorous performance differentiation and consequences for underperformance. Okay, they have just listed out what are the consequences of underperformance. So while it had some benefits, no doubt, its implementation also generated significant criticisms, okay, and challenges, leading to a broader evaluation or performance management practices. Okay, so this is with regarding to General Electric's vitality curve. Next, the next characteristics of leadership management skill is nothing but change management. Okay, you should be adaptive enough. Okay, that change you need to communicate to your teammates. Okay, whenever there is a change, there will be resistance. We know. Okay, whenever there is a change, there will be a resistance, but we need to adopt it. So one thing is damn sure is changes are unavoidable. Okay, we are in an ever-changing environment at present, right? So here again, I'll just come out with an example of Satya Nadella, where he transformed Microsoft culture, um, turning everyone into a learn it all instead of know it all. I know this. No, you learn it. He made every employee to learn whatever the new skills that is coming. Okay, so Nadella was not afraid of making waves and pushing his new employees to think differently. So only thing he says that you don't rest on the laurels of Microsoft. Of course, it has been found out by, it has been found by what I mean to say, Bill Gates. It has its great laurels, but don't sit with the laurels. It's not that you need to know it, you have to learn it. So that's what he has insisted. Okay, he had a very growth mindset as such. Yeah. So as I was telling you, if you take two kids at schools, right? One of them has more innate capability, okay, but is a know-it-all. I know everything. So that kind of attitude that children possess. Okay, some kind of children. The other person has less innate capability. The part is a learn it all. So they have a fear that I don't know. So I have to learn. So when you just look at our degree holders, or if you just take your CA or what I mean to say, CMA professionals, rather than the commerce students, okay, the science students come out shines up very well. So what's the reason is they read it as fresh. Okay, they think that they doesn't know anything, so they read from the scratch. The commerce students are on the assumption that they know it. Okay, it's all known subject. So that's the reason. So that's the mindset of you know it all and learn it all. Okay, so when you learn, you're understanding everything, you're learning from the scratch, you're doing it. So that's what Nadella has insisted. Okay, so if you just he transformed the Microsoft culture as such by he focused on innovation, he focused on collaboration, he focused on inclusivity. Okay, in shaping the company's success in recent years. So now it is at successful ranges because of it. Okay. So that's what this particular example is all about. I'm just forgetting myself to do the slides. Okay, fine. So next one is nothing but IBM's transformation from hardware to software. Okay, so they had been dealing with hardware products. Okay, then they felt that it's not fine to deal with hardware products. They have to just move to a software. That is what they call it as a cloud computing. Okay, so IBM, we know that it is an international business mission corporation. Okay, it is an American multinational technology and consultancy company. Okay, so it has been founded out in 1911. Okay, and it has been renamed in the year 1924 as IBM. Okay, so it has got a long history. In 1990s and 2000, they made a shift from hardware to software. Okay, so IBM began transitioning from being primarily a hardware company to focusing more on services and software. So this shift was driven by the decline in demand for traditional hardware and the growing importance of software and IT services. Okay, so they have understood and they have adopted it. Okay, so IBM's ability to adopt and transform over the decade has allowed it to remain as a key player in the global technology world. Okay, so they keep on innovating and they keep on carrying on the research. So they continue to invest in research and innovation, maintaining a strong focus in developing new technologies and solutions. Okay, so that is all about the IBM transformation fund. Okay, next, the last very important leadership management skill is all about is nothing but time management and delegation. Okay, So time management and delegation. So everything has to be done at the right time. So you need to manage your time efficiently, no doubt about it. Okay, you should do a proper delegation. Okay, effective delegation. Of course, you need to empower your team. So time management and delegation. So plays a very another important characteristics that the present leader has to possess. So here I just want you to bring about Eisenhower's matrix. So this matrix is nothing but about prioritizing our work. Okay, so this particular matrix has been divided into 4 quadrants, each representing a different category. Okay, so first quadrant talks about it's urgent and important. So you have to do it first. Okay, right? So next quadrant talks about not urgent but important. So you need to schedule. Okay, it's important. After 1 month, you have to do it. Okay. The third quadrant talks about, okay, it is not important, but urgent. So that is nothing but you need to delegate. The fourth quadrant talks about not urgent, okay, and not important. So you can try to eliminate it. So these, the tasks, the entire tasks that we have it in wireless tenure. So what is Think Week is nothing but, he said that we need a rest time. Okay, always we are running, doing things, carrying out the activities. So at least biannually, we need a resting time where we are away from all the social medias, we are away from the family, we are away from the work, and we are just sitting at one point and thinking, having a strategic thinking in our mind, okay, thinking about the innovative thoughts and all those things. So that's what he carries out. So that is what he calls it as a Think Week. Okay, so Think Week is nothing but is a biannual retreat that Bill Gates, right, started in his mid-80s, 1980s, he has started. Okay, so Gates would isolate himself in a secluded cabin away from day-to-day operations of Microsoft. Okay, to immerse himself in reading, he reads, he thinks, strategizing about the future of the company and technology. Okay, so this has ultimately led to the benefits like a deep focus. He can focus on what his next activity is all about. Okay, by reading and learning, it could bring a large number of memories. Okay, that is, he would spend much of his time reading these materials to gather insights and ideas. Okay, he can do a strategic planning. Okay, so when our mind is calm, okay, not with too many activities, we can think very clearly. Okay, so you can strategically plan your activities. Then feedback and innovations. So Gate would always use this time to provide detailed feedback on various projects. So whatever the carried projects which we have done, okay, what is it, how it has worked, okay, he can think about it. He can reassemblate it. Okay, so this has ultimately made a continuous learning. Okay, he were able to balance his focus. Okay, so that is with regarding to the fifth essential characteristics of our leadership management. So ultimately, I can just conclude my session telling that leadership and management are intertwined disciplines essential for organization success. So if an organization has to be successful in this approach, a person, the CEO, should be, so we have seen many CEOs in my examples, okay, where they possessed good leadership qualities and good management attributes. So effective leader is the one where he is able to blend both the skill sets. He is able to balance, okay, that, and that will lead to ultimately sustainable growth and innovation. Okay, so thus the synergy between leadership and management is crucial for building resilient, dynamic, and forward-looking organizations. Okay, I believe that I made some of my perception about the leadership management. Thank you.